Shave forever. Sensor. Twin blades set on springs to read your face and respond. Independent suspension to sense and adjust to every curve of your face. No other razor comes close. Gillette Sensor for the best shave a man can get.
It's the best time ever to get a Mazda. Get a Mazda RX-7 now, and factory-to-dealer incentives can save you up to $2,000. Get a Mazda 929 now, and you can also save up to $2,000. They're some of our best deals ever, but they won't last forever. Right time, right cars, right deals.
At Red McCombs, Universal, Benson Ingram Park, and Tom Benson Mazda now.
We recently asked San Antonians, where do you buy your new furniture?
I don't buy new furniture. I go to Arrow. Where else can you choose from over 2,000 fabrics?
Funny you should ask. We've had so many compliments on our furniture, but it's not new. It was reupholstered at Arrow.
And it costs less than new.
Just call Arrow, Arrow Upholstery.
Now save 30% on fabrics at Arrow Upholstery. Call 227-5051.
Well, the Chicago Bulls lead it by 7. They shot 53% in the first half. Out-rebounded the 76ers, protected the basketball. Sixers have not played very good interior defense, have not rebounded well, yet it still is a 7-point game.
Well, when you look at the game, though, Chicago was in complete control. And you used the word in there, they almost toyed with Philadelphia in the one stage. The one thing that helped is they finished the half strong. They got it to a 7-point deficit. They've got to come out now in this third quarter, but they've got to do it by playing some defense, Bob. I mean, they 53% field goal shooting for Chicago. Scottie Pippen 11 for 12. And when you shoot like that, that means you're shooting a lot of layups. 8 offensive rebounds. We talked about the out-rebound them 27 to 17 plus 10. Bench scoring 12 to 3. I mean, just every phase of the game. Second chance points 13 to 4. You got a 7-point game. There's a 9-point difference right there. So it almost appears right now that Philadelphia is looking to try to outscore Chicago here, and they're not going to do that in Chicago Stadium. I've alluded to that a couple times. There's Pippen with a beautiful 180 reverse dunk.
And you talk about the bench. Will Perdue played very well in addition to Scottie Pippen, who had 24 points, 5 rebounds. Perdue just came in for a few minutes, and as you pointed out, the middle was open, the blocking out wasn't there, and it allowed plays to get inside the middle.
Minute Bowl roams. You're going to see Barkley here on the drive. Charles had a big first half. He had 20 points, but only 2 in the second quarter. He missed 4 free throws, 6 of 10. But with Will Perdue, he's matched up against Minute Bowl. Either he or Horace Grant are in the ball game with Cartwright are out. When Minute goes over to block shots, it leaves a path. Here, watch Will Perdue. Now, here comes Minute. Now, no one blocks out Will Perdue. There's an opportunity basket. So, Will 4 for 5 for 8 points. He had an offensive rebound, did a nice job. 3 total rebounds, 8 points.
Bulls 58, Sixers 51, heading into the second half, and what the Bulls hope will be the last half of play in 1991 versus Philadelphia, so the Bulls could move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. They have not been contested in the first 2 rounds thus far.
Seems like they opened the game up in the third quarter by going into Armand Gilliam in the low post.
Ricky Green open from 19, rebound Jordan. Teams with the same starters on the floor at the beginning of the game at this half. Bulls with 10 to shoot. Cartwright inside to Grant. Mahorn with a rebound. His 4th of the game.
Rick Mahorn had the 1 outside jump shot. He did not have another field goal, so you talked about it, Bob. Sunday, the same situation. It's only 1 field goal for Rick Mahorn.
Williams' turnaround jumper won't fall. Cartwright with the rebound. Here's Pippen, who just had a career first half. He hasn't cooled off any.
See, the thing with Scottie Pippen is when he plays screen roll, you go underneath the screen so he doesn't turn the corner on you. Scottie's now making that little jump shot. So when he does that, you have to make an adjustment. You might have to start trapping that screen roll and try to get the ball out of his hands. Play it like you play when you play Michael Jordan.
That foul's on Pippen, his 3rd. Give me an opportunity to remind you this program's authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the NBA solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the NBA is prohibited.
It's interesting, Phil Jackson has left Scottie Pippen on Charles Barkley. We're afraid here maybe of picking up his 4th foul. I wouldn't be surprised to see Horace Grant go over and switch off on him. You do not want Pippen to pick up his 4th foul. They have a 7-point lead, and the game is still very much on the line.
That's Barkley's first field goal since the first quarter. Look at that pass to Grant. Then the offensive board. Now that is toying. That was an incredible pass. 7 points, 8 rebounds for Horace Grant.
There's the switch. Now you have Horace Grant playing Charles Barkley. That's a good move by Phil Jackson.
Barkley spins inside. Everybody in the league has tried to stop Charles one-on-one at one time or another. And if he wants it down on the line, it's going to get it.
Well, you have to double team him, really. That time Phil chose not to double team him.
Jordan from 8 feet away. And Michael has 15. He is 7 of 17 from the floor tonight.
He's bothered by tendonitis in that knee. I talked to the team doctor at halftime. He said Michael could use a few days rest. The knee is sore and bothering him, and that a few days could really help him going into the next series.
Barkley there delivering the ball on the offside to Armand Gilliam. 7-point Bulls lead. 9 minutes to go, third quarter. Jordan. 17 points. He doesn't want to be the only member of the Bulls starting 5 to shoot under 50%. He's right at 50 for the series coming into this game, so he's got to get up there 50% level.
Watch how long it takes for Michael to go from 17 to 30 when he really wants to score. Normally that jump doesn't go that quickly. It's not that easy.
Hersey Hawkins, he's got his mind in the hip pocket of Jordan.
The 1991 NBA playoffs are brought to you by Nissan, built for the human race, and by Dutch Boy Paints. Year after year, it's the look that gets the looks.
If I had a Z, it'd be silver. No, black. And I'd take it to a racetrack. Hold it. Nah, drive it cross country. That's what I'd do. Wait, Germany. Yeah, now that'd be epic. Running a Z flat out on the Autobahn. Too bad you can't drive to Europe.
Why do fools fall in love? Why do opposites attract? Why do gentlemen prefer blondes? Why do women have all the answers? Why? Ask why. Dry. It's dry brew, not watered down, to drink light yet satisfy completely. Because if true love's not the answer, true refreshment must be.
Here are tonight's Nissan leaders. You see the defense Chicago has been playing, holding their opponents to just over 90 a game.
The maturity of Scottie Pippen. Bob Neal, we take a look here. Little screen roll. Now, if Scottie Pippen, you see him right here, is considered, if he's considered an outside jump shooter, what you try to do is the big guy playing here has got to step up, and they try to trap this screen roll. You see here the difference, though. Charles Barkley goes underneath the screen. Mahorn drops back, and they're going to give him this little outside jump shot. Scottie Pippen is now making that shot. Barkley underneath the screen, Mahorn back. Little 17-foot jump shot. Scottie's burying it.
Scottie Pippen with 26 in this game tonight. Jordan was 6 out of 16 in the first period, but 3 out of 3 here in the third. 8:18 to go. Bulls by 11. Ricky Green finds an opening down the lane. Ricky Green, the 13-year veteran from Michigan, has 9 points.
You know, Scottie Pippen is playing this game as a point guard. John Paxson actually is playing as an off guard. Michael Jordan almost as a small forward. Pippen is on fire.
He's in the oft-mentioned zone, 13 of 14 from the floor tonight. There's the double team on Barkley. He finds Gilliam. Who finds the bottom of the net. Gilliam has 13 in this game. 2 away from his average on the series. Cartwright on the baseline, and Mr. Bill gets his 6th points of the night.
Bulls are just taking turns. Your turn, my turn. John Paxson's the only one that has not scored.
Got an offensive foul down on the baseline.
Good rotation on that shot by Scottie Pippen. Much improved shooter. Charles Barkley with a foul off the ball.
His second. They had to get the shot clock right as they inbound the ball. 7:09 to go in the third. 72-61 Chicago. Ron Anderson in for Philadelphia. Cartwright in the paint over Gilliam. Rebound Jordan. Loose ball foul, Philadelphia. That's 3 on Gilliam.
Well, this is Chicago in the playoffs. You see scoring margin up to 14, field goal percentage 446, playoffs allowing less than 91 points a game.
Hawkins played up on Jordan, tried to dump it into Horace Grant. Turnover. Only the 4th turnover of the night for the Bulls.
See the pad on Hersey Hawkins' leg, Bob. We talked about in the first half that he hit his leg. You can see that he's got a pad on it now, and it's still favoring that leg very much.
Hersey Hawkins with 10 points in this game. None in this half. And the hold will be called and charged against Hersey Hawkins.
Foul 33, Hersey Hawkins, his 3rd, the team's 2nd.
There you see that pad on the left thigh, really just above the knee. Paxson, Jordan is posted. He is so quick to the hoop. Missing the lay-in, but he's fouled down there from Chicago Stadium. The Bulls leading 72-61. 6:21 to go in the third quarter. This is game 5. Bulls leading 3-1 and hoping to close it out at home here tonight.
He shoots 2.
Jordan, on what we called earlier his off night, has 20 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, headed for a triple-double. This is the kind of night Jordan needed, though, because I have a feeling if the Bulls do get into a 18, 20-point lead, which you feel they are capable of doing in this game, we'll see Michael getting a lot of rest.
That's why I'm sure Phil Jackson would really like for this team that's on the floor right now to really gear down the defense, blow out a lead, discourage the Sixers about winning this game so he can rest his starters, specifically Michael and Bill Cartwright.
That's the Bulls' biggest lead, by the way, at 13. Philadelphia ball on the sidelines out of bounds. Robert Reed checks in for the Sixers. He wears number 50. Bulls with that full court pressure.
What makes that pressure so effective is that Horace Grant on the point of that press at 6'10" can chase and double team the ball and still have the speed and quickness to get back to his man. So he's really the one, Bob, that makes that press go.
Jordan to Pippen. Pippen leads Cartwright by a lot.
Scotty, you got to know who you're throwing to there, buddy. You know those big guys, when they're running, that wasn't to get them to catch and stop at the same.
Wasn't Horace Grant or Michael over there.
Scotty's laughing about it, too.
74-61 Chicago. Barkley against Horace Grant. Set shot.
And the Chicago will give him that shot all night long.
Michael. He got a hand on that. And Pippen fouled Charles Barkley, and that will be
Personal foul, 43, Scottie Pippen, his 4th, the team's 2nd.
That may be the only way to cool Pippen down tonight is to get 5 fouls on him. That's his fourth.
You know, Phil's one of the few coaches in the league that allows a guy to stay in with 4 fouls at this particular time. And, you know, he gambles sometimes. You hope that Pippen does not pick up his 5th right now before the 4th quarter starts. They're going to go to Ron Anderson to try to pick up the 5th foul on Pippen.
Ron Anderson just definitely off his shooting rhythm. He has not been able to get anything going tonight. Gillian on the drive is fouled.
Chicago personal foul.
It's on Paxson. It's third.
His third, the team's third.
Can Philly come back from a 3-1 deficit? Well, the Sixers know it can be done. Unfortunately, they were on the other end of it in 68 and 81.
Bob, let me tell you a story about that 81. I remember being in Philadelphia at that time broadcasting for the Sixers. It was my last year playing there. Up 3-1. The Celtics come back and win. The next year, come back again. We're up 3-1 again. The same thing happens. The series goes to 3-3, going back to Boston Garden, go into Boston Garden, and all these people are dressed in white sheets like the ghost of Celtic past hovering over our bench. And we beat them by 20 in the deciding game there. One of the biggest games in the franchise. I'll never forget that day. They had the ghost sheets on, and they had like Havlicek, Heinsohn, Charm, and all the Celtics guys' names on the back. It was an unbelievable afternoon.
1982. Just like yesterday. Jordan shaken and not vacant yet. Missing the layup. Green has Anderson out front. Anderson has Michael in his face.
Michael's upset now. He missed the shot. He's got that look on his face like, I want the ball back.
Robert Reed from the corner.
Robert Reed.
His first two for the night.
Timeout, Chicago.
Timeout, Chicago, and the lead once again has been cut down to a single digit, 74-65. 4:37 to go in the quarter.
Let me tell you my fantasy. I'm driving with the stereo on, the sunroof's open, just me and Michael, winding our way to this little bed and breakfast in my Nissan Stanza. Oh, I know, as fantasies go, it sounds pretty tame. But you should see my real life.
For the best prices on the hottest jams, Platters is the place. Platters Records and Tapes, 312 McCreeless Mall.
Hey, buddy, want to make $1 million the easy way? You could step into the ring. You could launch the new fragrance. Or you could play the HBO TV Guide Quest for the Best Game. Play daily in TV Guide and nightly on HBO. So hold on to that game card for your daily chance to win over 8,000 cash prizes. Play the HBO TV Guide Quest for the Best Game and make your first million the easy way. Or try brain surgery.
Well, the Bulls not putting the Sixers away. You get a feeling the Bulls could do it at about any time, but once again the Sixers have cut the lead to 9 points. 4:37 to go in the third. Speaking of the playoffs, the Western Conference, tonight following this game we'll be televising the Lakers Warriors, who lead 3-1, have bonus coverage of Blazers Jazz, who lead 3-1. Let's assume that Lakers and Blazers go ahead and win those series, leading 3-1 as they are. Who do you like, Blazers?
Well, I want to tell you what, the Lakers can cause them problems, and I tell you why, because they can post them up and they can get them in a half-court offense. And one thing that Portland does is they struggle a little bit when the game becomes real structured in a half-court situation, although they finished the game superbly the other night in Utah, scoring on their last 9 possessions. That should be a great series.
10 seconds for the Bulls to shoot. Craig Hodges coming off the screen. Reed right out in his face. Reed's up there at 6'8", so he's enough to stop the outside shooting of Craig. 6 seconds on the shot clock.
I think Phil Jackson hoped to break this game open, realizing that they're not able to do that. He gets Pippen out of the game because of 4 fouls. Brings in Hodges. B.J. Armstrong in for Paxson.
Barkley with the block of Cartwright. Cartwright wanted the foul.
Second violation.
Phil Jackson, excuse me, Bob, Phil Jackson took that timeout because he did not like what he was seeing with the team. A couple sloppy passes, guys going in the air to take a shot, looking to pass. And he's just telling the guys, look, let's not let these guys hang around. Let's put this team away.
They inbounded the ball on the side because they called a 24-second violation. Green open for the jump. And it's a 7-point Bulls lead. Philadelphia playing a lackadaisical appearing game tonight, but they hang around, down only by 7, and they're on a 7-0 run. B.J. Armstrong spinning into the paint. Barkley gets his 5th rebound. By the way, Barkley has no offensive boards tonight.
Oh, my word.
How did he keep control of the ball?
That was the Charles Barkley of old. Those inline-to-inline dashes where if you get in front of him for a charge, you look like a bowling pin. It'll knock you right off the floor.
And it's a 5-point game. Leave a team hang around. You know this so well, Doug. And they start feeling some confidence. Cartwright has it stripped. 6 seconds on the shot clock.
Charles Barkley in the open floor. He's got his head down. Look out. Ball's knocked loose, but he runs it down and finishes it with the dunk. Got to get a shot up here. I don't know if he realizes it.
I don't think he did. Armstrong throws up the prayer, doesn't get it. The violation sounded, but the shot had gone up first. That was the horn you heard, the 24-second clock. And the Bulls with another offensive board.
Little screen roll, that's what they go to when they need a basket. And you got to clear the rebound.
More of a screen shot with Michael Sagan.
That's right. They're going to give Michael the outside shot. There's Cartwright. He got pushed.
No whistle. It's Bulls ball. Barkley is slow to get up. Let's see if he's all right. Yes, I think.
Chicago's had 4 opportunities to score on this possession. Armand Gilliam got away with a foul that time. He had his hand on the waist of Bill Cartwright, just pushed him down. No whistle.
3 new 24-second clocks for Chicago on this possession. Well, actually, give them 3 possessions. Grant back Barkley in, and Barkley said, I won't give you the basket. I will take the foul. That's 3 on Charles.
Charles was trying to sucker him in there to a block shot. The contact was made, and Barkley just released. Gave Horace Grant a lot of space, hoping Horace would think he was not there, turn around and take the shot. Horace very aware of Charles Barkley, so he powered the ball to the basket. Smart play that time for Horace.
Horace Grant from game 4, a big one, 22 points, 11 rebounds. Tonight, Horace has 8 points, but he has 9 rebounds to go with it.
Be aware now, pressure defense. Michael Jordan lets them flying in out the foul line here. You see now, he's up here. He comes. Keep your eye.
A sprint to the baseline.
Runway.
Here's that pressure again. Philadelphia appeared unaware of it. 21 on the shot clock now. That means they have 7 seconds to get the ball across the timeline. Ricky Green.
Throw it ahead.
To Gilly. Anderson cannot buy a perimeter field goal. Bullets it into Barkley.
Now Charles should take this ball to the basket. Don't settle for an outside shot.
5 seconds to shoot. Green doesn't get it. Jordan rebounds. He's got 12 rebounds tonight. And draws the foul. A hard one from Ron Anderson. Steps up to Michael Jordan. Everybody getting their tempers calmed here.
Michael does this sometimes when he gets into a little bit of a lull. Sometimes he'll look for a little mano-a-mano confrontation to get himself into the game. Now, he's rebounding and doing all those things, but when he gets into one of these little set twos with a guy, look for him to then really explode. He likes to do that to get himself back in the ball game. Let's keep our eye on Michael now this next minute 52 of the 3rd quarter.
The Bulls, should he sink the free throw, go up to a 9-point lead. And the pressure remains. This is how the Bulls are putting a stop to Philadelphia's climb back up there in the competition in this basketball game.
Force them to use some clock. They come down now. The shot clock's working against them.
Grant forces Barkley way away from the hoop. They isolate the side. There's the double team. Reed into the paint. Got a bucket.
Bobby Joe Reed, I tell you, he's getting long of tooth. I played against him, so.
That means you're long of tooth.
Yeah, really.
That means I'm about ready for the rocking chair.
I remember when Bobby Joe Reed was a rookie with the Houston Rockets. Played him in the playoff series.
Remember the year he played point guard? And everybody made the big deal about how big he was playing point guard.
I was guarding him. I remember that very well. He was with Calvin Murphy, Mike Newland, and John Lucas. That group of guys. Very good team.
Minute to go in the third quarter.
Charles is holding the ball so much. Now the clock is down. Here's the double team, and it's going to be an outside jump shot.
From Robert Reed, almost a prayer, just barely draws iron.
That's from holding the basketball too long. You got to attack.
This is attack. Jordan's okay. 42 seconds to go in the quarter. That's attack with a capital A. Chicago had gone cold from the floor in the last 5.5 minutes. That's the first field goal.
Michael weaving in and out of players. The little finger roll off the big hand drive. And great play by Michael Jordan. Gets this crowd back into the game. They'd like to be able to get a 2 field goals here to 1 situation. Philadelphia would. But again, when Charles Barkley holds the ball, the shot clock winds down. Now they throw it out, and you've got to shoot a shot to beat the clock. Robert Reed had no choice the last time but to launch the shot up there.
Philly had pulled to within 5. Now they trail by 10. Jordan's put in 13 points this period. Almost another steal. Gilliam kicks it out to Anderson. That should be money in the bank, but not tonight.
Now they want to hold for the last shot. Either go down 7, 8, or 10, but you don't want to give the Bulls another chance to score.
10 seconds in the quarter.
Andre Turner will like to penetrate. He loves to go to his right hand. If Horace Grant helps, Barkley will have the shot.
The 3. But Grant steps up and punches it away, and Charles has to throw up the prayer. That brought the crowd to their feet. In your face, say the Bulls. A lead of 10 going into the final 12 minutes.
He's been superior. Look at the pass!
The Magic Man has eyes all around his head.
Beautiful pass!
No look pass, slam dunk.
What an assist, all-time leader. Magic Johnson.
Thank you, fans, for coming out every night. NBA action, it's always been fantastic.
If I could afford a sports sedan, the road would belong to me. Bob, I'd have one of those multi-valve engines, independent suspension, and of course, a spoiler on the back. Yeah, if I could afford a sports sedan, life would be a cruise.
Oh, it's you, Bob. Presenting the Nissan Sentra SER, because rich guys shouldn't have all the fun.
The looks. Use Dutch Boy Satin Finish. It's the one finish every room should start with.
Won't you sail away now, where the sun warms every shore? The Caribbean calls you with the sweet sea breeze and more.
Discover the joys of Royal Caribbean's Caribbean. 3 to 10 night cruises to the Bahamas, Virgin Islands, Barbados, and more on the grand resorts of the 7 seas.
final 12 minutes, possibly in the season of the 76ers, unless they overcome the 10-point deficit. This is a good news, bad news. The good news is Scottie Pippen, who was red hot, picked up his 4th foul and had to sit down. The bad news is it meant Jordan had to go to work.
Well, Michael, I said, remember, he goes from 13 to 30 faster than anybody in the league. Already 26 points, 14 rebounds. I think the real interesting statistic here more than anything else, the Bulls up 18 on the rebounds. And what that does is it tells you they're quicker and more aggressive going to the boards, and they just want the ball a little bit more. It's a hustle statistic.
Stacey King in its center now. 9, 8 and counting on the shot clock. 5, 4. You see it in the lower left. 3. King. Misses and Barkley rebounds.
Stacey just can't buy one. And ever since he held out of a practice and said he wanted to be traded, this crowd has been on his tail as well as they should be, and he just can't get anything going right now, Bob. It's going to be a long playoff series for him.
And Robert Reed misses Gilliam, another Philadelphia turnover. That, by the way, is only 6 turnovers for Philadelphia tonight. It's 10-point Bulls lead. Got to figure Stacey King won't be here next year.
It'll be
interesting. A good chance that they'll trade him.
It'll be interesting to see what Chicago does with Stacey. There's a screen roll for Michael. Ball knocked loose.
Andre Turner got his hand on the ball as he's stripped into the lane.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with Stacey. I'm not sure what their plans will be. They will not be able to trade him, though, unless they get something of high value, a high draft choice, or something they feel like will help this team. Otherwise, Stacey will be here. Tony Kukoc now is signed in Italy, so they will not be worried about whether he's going to be on the team.
Andre Turner for 3. Barkley, who had drawn the double team. Again, no blockout. Rebound, Stacey King. Jordan was held by Barkley. No whistle at all. And Gilliam gets the defensive board. Barkley hard to the hoop. Missed the lay-in. Pippen rebound. And Pippen is fouled. Charles says, how'd I do that? Reed's first personal. Reed sits down. Percy Hawkins back into the game. Hawkins with only 10 points all in the first half. Andre Turner with the steal. It's 2-on-1. This could be interesting. Nice play by Andre Turner.
And John Paxson will come back into the ball game for B.J. Armstrong. Phil Jackson not happy with what he sees in B.J. Armstrong tonight.
It's an 8-point game. It just continues to look as though the Bulls are dominating the game, and they are statistically, but Philadelphia hanging around on points. 8 seconds on the clock. Grant with another offensive board. Pippen left on the wall. Finally missed one from out there. Armand Gilliam with the rebound.
Got to get the ball ahead. You've got 3 Bulls in the backcourt. If you throw it ahead, you've got numbers. Somebody's got to be open.
There's one. Ron Anderson. He'll hit this one. He was only 1 out of 6 prior to that shot.
The Bulls have lost a little bit of their discipline right now, Bob. They're chasing the basketball. They're trying to knock them out in one punch. And in doing that, they've allowed them back in the ball game.
Jump ball is the call. I will say this, too. That ball way off that basket. There have been several opportunities for fouls to be called against Philadelphia defensively down there in the paint that haven't been called.
They have been the aggressors, and in being the aggressors, sometimes you will get that call. When you're on your heels and the other team is attacking you, you're going to be the one with the fouls. Right now, Philadelphia has geared up their defense. They're starting to reach in a little bit, cause some turnovers. And right now, they're getting themselves back in this ball game.
Down by 6. Big tip here. It's 2-on-1. Turner. And it, all of a sudden, is a 4-point basketball game.
You know what? I got to take my hat off to Philadelphia because really they could have died right now. They could have just passed it in, and they're battling back.
They're on a 6-0 run.
They're doing it with a smaller lineup. Gilliam and Barkley, Ron Anderson, Hersey Hawkins, and Andre Turner.
Buries the 3. That was a big one.
John Paxson is a big game player. You leave him open, he'll bury your shot. That's only about Paxson's second shot in the ball game.
And that's the first Chicago field goal in the last 9.5 minutes. They had one before that. It's actually the second one in 9.5 minutes. Bulls by 5, but Sixers now smelling an opportunity to stay in here. Barkley gets the board. Hersey Hawkins returns it to Barkley. He gets the lay-in. And now it is a 3-point Bulls lead, and Charles Barkley has 28 points. Timeout Chicago. And Doug, you and I have another close ball game.
All you have to do is have us here.
You're at a stoplight. It will last 20 seconds. This may be the only time some people ever see you. How do you want to be remembered?
Why is it so difficult to communicate? Why do people hurt each other? Why do some guys have a hard time adjusting? Why? Ask why. Try Bud Dry. It's dry brewed, not watered down, to drink light, yet satisfy completely. It's the perfect refreshment for the games people play.
The NBA, the NFL, the Pan Am Games, the Winter Olympics, the best athletes in the world, and nobody plays it like TNT.
When Joe Don Baker does hard time on a bum rap, he doesn't get mad. I'm gonna kill you! He gets real mad. Framed after the NBA on TNT.
Bulls up by 3, and in case you wonder why Doug Collins has been particularly accurate and insightful in the game tonight, he has an assistant here by the name of Chris Collins. This good looking, he could be moving you out of this chair.
Way too handsome to be my son, that's for sure. But it's nice to have Chris here with us tonight.
Let's not let him say anything. You may be seeing him playing some big-time basketball down the road one of these days. Chris plays at Glenbrook North. We've been out to watch him play some hoops. How'd he get a night off of his off-season league?
His sister's playing tonight, so he took her place for the game tonight.
All right, now let's go back to this game. The Bulls have all of a sudden found themselves in a contest up by 3. The last 10.5 minutes, the Sixers on a 20-10 run.
See if they put Michael Jordan in the post. Many instances they like to post him when they like to get a basket.
Paxson looking for Cartwright. Back to Paxson. 6 seconds on the clock. Cartwright on the baseline. Big bucket.
A lot of confidence in Bill Cartwright. That was a set play to go into the post with him, and he delivered. John Paxson with good patience threw in there twice before the score was made.
Bulls starters on the floor.
Isolating Cartwright against Armand Gilliam, going with a small lineup.
Anderson open. Not from the outside. The ball belongs to Chicago. Anderson only 2 of 8 tonight, and one of those was an inside layup.
Yeah, Ron Anderson has really struggled with his outside jump shot in this series, shooting only 34%.
Bulls by 5. 7:22 to go in the game.
Going back to Cartwright. Figure if they're going to go small, we're going to go into our big guy.
Cartwright tries to dump it off to Michael. Hersey Hawkins is there. The block from Gilliam. Chicago ball with 5 on the shot clock.
Now Michael on this out-of-bounds play loves to bait you, and they'll throw right onto a lob with Michael underneath the basket. So Hersey Hawkins has to beware.
Gilliam comes out to play Pippen, and Pippen misses it. Hersey Hawkins was spotted for a 3, but Horace Grant was lurking nearby. The lob to Barkley, and goaltending.
Good recognition by Andre Turner. He recognized Paxson was caught on a switch with Charles Barkley, so he just lofted the ball in the air. Nice play here by Andre Turner. You see the lob, Pippen just a little too late getting there.
Barkley with 30 points. 12 of 18 from the floor. It is a 3-point Chicago lead. 10 on the shot clock.
See, Chicago in the half-court offense is not nearly as explosive. They're a team that likes to get it out and run.
Pippen missing now. Rebound Barkley. A chance to cut it to 1 or tie on this possession. Pippen, after being red hot, got 4 fouls and sat down, came back in and missed his last 4. Gilliam inside. It's a 1-point game. Don't dial out the Sixers yet. Chicago let them back in here.
Well, we said on the opening, we're here, it's going to be close, so forget about what happened in the first 2 or 3 quarters.
Go figure. Pippen fouled on the drive.
Philadelphia personal foul.
The one thing you see, though, those early drives that got all the way to the basket are now 8-foot floating shots in the lane with a hand in the face. Haven't seen any dunks in a while.
Anderson with his 4th foul.
When you let a team hang around on you, Bob Neal, they become very dangerous, especially when they're facing elimination. That's why Phil Jackson was hoping that he could get his team to deliver the knockout punch in the 3rd quarter. Very upset, and they lost their concentration.
Percy Hawkins arm wrestling with Jordan. Paxson into the paint. Another big bucket out of Paxson. Paxson has only 4 points, and they've been big ones. Only his 3rd shot. Bulls by 3.
Now here's where Charles has got to go to the basket. He's waiting for the double team. They're not going to double team until he puts it on the floor.
And Andre Turner misses the 3.
Chicago scores here, and Michael makes a spectacular play. He might need a timeout.
There is the play. There is the timeout. Bulls go up by 5.
As the good times roll, Spurs style. Season ticket sales were capped at $12,500 this year, but next season it'll be $13,000. So don't miss the good times. Call now for season tickets.
Come on, baby, let the good times roll.
At Exxon, we think of engines as precise works of art, moving sculptures that come to life with stunning grace. We believe every engine deserves an enduring, powerful life. We believe every engine deserves a motor oil that offers uncompromising protection for a flawless performance. Exxon Superflow Motor Oil. For uncompromising protection against engine wear.
It's time for the Dutch boy in the paint, and as you can see, you wonder why it's only a 5-point game. Chicago's dominating inside.
Well, rebounds plus 17. You see the matchup plus 13 at center. Bob, here's what's happened. The last time down the floor, they posted up Armand Gilliam. Cartwright's trying to front. Got Barkley in isolation. These 3 guys in isolation. So here's where the defense can be. And when the pass goes over the top, Paxson just cannot get there soon enough.
You talked before the timeout that if Jordan came in and did something offensively, it'd bring the crowd alive, and Jimmy Lynam might have to get the timeout. It did, and he did.
Well, I think you have to do that because this crowd feeds off Michael Jordan, his excitement, his frenetic energy. The crowd is now pumped up. I really believe that Philadelphia is not going to be able to score if they go to isolations with Barkley. He's holding the basketball and forcing his team to take long shots. They need to get into something without just isolating Charles Barkley outside.
And a whistle away from the ball.
It's only the first team foul of this quarter.
At Chicago Stadium, Bob Neal and Doug Collins with you. The Bulls are leading it by 5. They lead in the series 3 games to 1, but Philadelphia coming on. Foul on Bill Cartwright. That's 4 on Cartwright, 4 on Pippen for Chicago. New 24-second clock. You pointed out both teams now with 2 team fouls with 4:57 to go in the game.
Chicago plays excellent defense without fouling. One of the things they've done this year is not get themselves in situations with foul trouble. Tonight, another occasion. Percy Hawkins a little gimpy, not having that offensive speed he normally has.
Green open for the jumper, and he buries it once again. Chicago by 3.
But they just didn't do it by isolating Barkley. There was some penetrating dribble. The defense was pulled in. He made the pass outside. A guy got an open shot at the basket.
Now Chicago opening up the floor, getting some spacing, looking for some picks down on the baseline. Pop out Michael Jordan. 5 to shoot. Blue right, pass Hawkins, and gets the reverse. 30 for Michael.
There's the isolation. They've gotten themselves in trouble with this play.
Green for 3.
They got it that time. They got it that time, Bob, but they've missed twice with Andre Turner doing the same play.
Bulls by 2. Ricky Green, 16 points, 6 out of 10 from the floor.
Keep your eye on Michael Jordan against Hersey Hawkins. He's going to be the guy they're going to go to.
Hawkins right in his jersey so far. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Jordan, that's a 2-pointer. Cartwright keeps it alive, stolen by Hawkins. Sixers can tie on this possession with 3.5 to go.
Barkley will shoot a 3 here. He's one of those guys that will launch a 3. You got to be careful.
Paxson fouls Gilliam. He'll go to the free throw line. By the way, when you start talking about what's happened offensively for Philadelphia in this half, one of the things that's happened is Gilliam has happened. He has 19 points and a chance to do better than that. Paxson now has 4 fouls.
Well, we talked about Armand Gilliam in the big win, had 25. So he must be the barometer for this team offensively. Going to the post up with Barkley. If Paxson leaves, Ricky Green will have the outside shot again.
Gilliam in the paint, spins past Pippen. And the foul. That's 3 on Michael Jordan.
Chicago personal foul. 23, Michael Jordan, his 3rd.
Gilliam a chance to tie this game with 3:10 remaining.
That time Cartwright came over to double team. Rather than leaving Ricky Green, they brought Cartwright over, which left Gilliam now to follow the pass, to cut to the open area to get the score.
Gilliam 8 out of 8 from the free throw line tonight.
Well, you just jinxed him, Coach Neal.
Thank you, Armand. 92-92. Doug Collins, we have another barn burner. Shouldn't say that in Chicago.
Well, this is a barn. I just hope it doesn't start burning.
I was thinking of Mrs. O'Leary. It was last tied at 8-8. Michael Jordan going to work inside. He's fouled. Will go to the line. Right after this one, Golden State and L.A. will do battle. That series also 3-1, and L.A. will be cruising a little bit. Golden State also on the ropes like Philadelphia. That could be another good one.
Michael Jordan to the line to shoot there.
Jordan with a chance to break the tie. 93-92.
Chicago's only scored 12 points this quarter. They had 81. It was 81-71 at the end of 3. So tremendous defense by Philadelphia. And, you know, we talked about them, Bob, in the first half about their lack of defense and their lack of intensity inside. Well, we have to credit them because they are now playing the kind of defense we thought they would play early.
Here's that intense Chicago pressure. Ricky Green breaks it. Only 15 on the shot clock, though, for Philadelphia to set up the play. Trailing by 2.
Going to Gilliam again against Cartwright.
Cartwright got a hand on him. Gilliam had a double clutch. Pippen deflected it to Horace Grant.
Well, Michael Jordan caused that. He came over from the backside to try to block his shot.
Jordan has Chicago's last 6 points. Ricky Green can't control it. Jordan. Chicago's last 8 points. Bulls by 4. Timeout, Philadelphia.
You've been driving for nearly 2 decades. You've had your license renewed a number of times. Isn't it time you had your spirit renewed as well? after year, the look that gets the looks is Dutch Boy Satin Finish paint. It's the one finish every house should start with. You can see why it's worth more.
All right. This week on NBA Inside Stuff.
I had always been insecure about myself. And that's maybe why I practiced and played so hard, so long. He's my hero, he's my friend, he's my main man. Magic is the guy running up and down the court. Irvin is right here, me and you. I'm gonna own a team one day, and then you can come interview me after I won, hopefully, 5 championships that way.
An exclusive backyard conversation with Magic on NBA Inside Stuff Saturday.
Well, you talk about Michael Jordan's 34 points, but he plays a little defense also.
Well, I always felt that Michael Jordan was the best in the league at doing this. Now, here is Michael Jordan right here. And when the ball goes in the post, he likes to circle in from behind and try to block shots. Now, watch what happens. Just keep your eye on Michael. He's going to cause him to double pump the shot and miss. Here he comes. Look how much space he takes up. The double pump, the missed shot, and then the score on the other end.
And he is rightfully so on the first-team all-defense. Rodman was the defensive player, and you might mention Scottie Pippen's on the second-team all-defensive team in the NBA. Chicago by 4. 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Philadelphia with a foul to give.
It's a big possession right here for Philadelphia. They hope to have a chance to win this game.
Barkley missed an 8-footer.
Percy Hawkins got a bad leg. Michael wants to take him.
10 to shoot.
He's going to back him down.
Barkley stepped in there and caused the turnover.
You got to give Percy Hawkins a lot of credit. He probably shouldn't be playing, but realizing where they are now, he's going to give it his best shot.
Anderson still can't get the perimeter shot to go down. He's 2 for 9 tonight. Minute and a half to go in the game. Chicago with 8 seconds to shoot. 5. Cartwright. Jordan came in there to steal the miss. 24-second violation. That'll be a turnover to Philadelphia, trailing by 4. 1:09 remaining. Chicago once again unable to put the capper on this victory and the series win, and of course the right to move on to the conference championship. The situation here with timeouts, Philadelphia has 2 plus a 20, Chicago 3 plus a 20, and Philly, remember, does still have a foul to give.
They're checking the game clock right now. They just want to make sure they get the right amount of time on the game clock.
Ricky Green takes 7 seconds to get that ball across the timeline. Under a minute. Barkley against Horace Grant. The double team. Percy Hawkins for 3!
That's why he's out there on the floor right now. You cannot leave him. That's reminiscent of Game 3 where he buried the shot to give them a 2-point win in Game 3.
Jordan with 34 points. Hard to the hoop. Bulls by 3.
See, I'm sorry. He's got to at least give a foul there or something. You just can't let Michael. He's got 10 of the 17 points in this quarter. You've got to prevent him from getting a layup in that situation.
Michael has the last 10 Chicago points. Barkley to Green for the open jumper. No rebound. Jordan, 17. That's a playoff career high. 17 seconds to go. Bulls by 3.
Sideline out of bounds. Now the important thing is Philadelphia's going to foul immediately. Get the ball in the hands of a good free throw shooter. Look for the Bulls to try to bust out of this stack and throw the ball over the back to Michael Jordan, all the way over the top. They'd like for him to catch the ball if possible. They're just going to throw it to the other side. Right there it is. Got to foul him. The clock's going to wind out and the game's going to be over.
Hawkins looked to the bench. The coach said foul. He did. 12:48 remaining in the game. Chicago up by 3, and Michael Jordan at the free throw line. And Hersey Hawkins fouls out on that play.
A gutty effort, though, by Hersey Hawkins. You see the bandage on his leg. The easiest thing to do, you're guarding a guy like Michael Jordan, is to say, hey, I just can't go, coach. And he didn't. He stayed out there and he battled. And you got to give him a lot of credit.
Hit the big three to pull to within 1 point. There's that familiar chant at Chicago Stadium.
Andre Turner in the lineup replacing Hersey Hawkins.
After an 18-point first quarter, Charles Barkley now has 30, so 12 the rest of the ball game. Armand Gilliams had a big night, 21 points.
Jordan now with 18 rebounds. Bulls by 4.
It looks like it's going to be to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 straight years now. These Chicago Bulls, twice eliminated by the Detroit Pistons. 4 games to 2, then 4 games to 3. They now have the home court advantage, and we'll wait for the winner of the the Boston-Detroit series.
Philadelphia gets a timeout with just under 13 seconds to go. The Bulls allowed the Sixers to hang around, and the Sixers tied it at 92. But then Michael Jordan went to work and scored the last 10 points for Chicago, making the last 12 with those free throws. So the Bulls are going to advance, and they are certainly happy at Chicago Stadium. The Philadelphia 76ers, a team in trouble.
Well, the thing about it is, I will give Philadelphia credit. I thought in the first half their defense was very porous. They didn't do anything to stop the drive. Scottie Pippen, 24 first half points. He has 28 points now in the ball game. He did get in foul trouble. You see Hersey Hawkins with the 3. Scottie Pippen did get in foul trouble, but they're not giving them end-to-end line drive. Now, this is the foul I thought Armand Gilliams should have taken. Here goes Michael to the basket, and he just sort of ushers him in there. Doesn't even really jump. You've got to grab Michael Jordan and say, you're going to make 2 free throws. I cannot give you a layup at this point in the ball game.
Armand Gilliam expressing the feelings, I'm sure, of these 76ers. They were eliminated last year by Chicago in the Eastern Conference semifinals, 4 games to 1, and they were about to be eliminated here, 4 games to 1. 1 year later, 195. The score in the second half has been a Philadelphia kind of score. Remember, the game they did win at Philadelphia was 99-97. So here we have a 195 game.
In the first quarter, when it was a very scattered game and the pace was in favor of Chicago, I made the statement, in order for Philadelphia to win in here, the game had to be about 103, 104 points. They've brought it back, and they've had some opportunities. They've just missed some shots.
Barkley, Ricky Green, Andre Turner, Gilliam, and Ron Green on the floor. You see the situation with the timeouts. No teams have fouls to give now.
Well, see if they try to penetrate. Maybe a Barkley penetrate to the basket and try to kick out to a 3-point shooter. You've got 3 3-point shooters on the floor. See if they get the ball to Barkley, let him drive it to the basket, and spot up a 3-point shooter.
There's Barkley. He'll take the 3. He doesn't get it. Jordan, 19 rebounds. And this game is over. The Sixers are eliminated. The Bulls advance to the Eastern Conference Championship Series, 100-95. Pippen. Scottie Pippen is going to come over and join us at the table. Scottie Pippen was the man in the first half who lit it up. He was held down in the second half thanks to 4 fouls on him. But Scottie Pippen was the man who set the tone for this game, and I think more than anybody else has announced that the Chicago Bulls have reached the maturity to advance and compete for the NBA championship, because this is no longer simply a Michael Jordan basketball team. As Phil Jackson told me just before the game, Scottie Pippen, the single difference in this Chicago team in the playoffs this year from last year is the fact that you can take the ball and create offense and dominate a game offensively enough to cause all kinds of problems. How did you feel when you were in that zone in the first half and were at one point 9 out of 9 from the floor?
Well, I felt real good. My rhythm was real down. down real nice. I was able to drive to the basket and get the stuff. And, you know, everything was working for me real well. The guys were setting picks, and, I mean, it opened up the game for us, basically.
Here's a guy who coached you when you were first into the league, and we've seen a great deal of change in your game, improvement in your game, and maturity. Doug, what about the fact of the distance this young man's traveled?
Well, you know, I always felt Scottie Pippen was a big game player. I remember Game 5, I did not tell him he was going to start the game, the deciding game against Cleveland. In here, my second year coaching, Scottie was a rookie, had 26 points in the final game. So the one difference I see, Scottie, is, you know, you're taking the ball to the basket with such authority, but you're confident shooting that outside jump shot. You see teams going to make a change and try to trap you to prevent you from getting that easy shot?
Well, yeah, definitely. You know, I felt like that was the weak point of my game going into this season was my jump shot. And I feel like once I get that open up for me, it will make a big difference for me.
You know, the one thing that you do so well, Scottie, there's so many things out there, but when you rebound the basketball and you can turn and push it out, you give your team such an advantage. Paxson can now run out and be a shooter. Michael can get out, and it creates all kinds of problems.
Well, yeah, I think that made us a major threat in this series because Barkley not able to hold me and guard me the full court. So it made a big difference with the court wide open, and I was able to create for myself and also for my teammates.
What about this rest now? You got Boston and Detroit probably in a 7-game series. You guys might not play for 7 or 8 days. How will that affect you guys?
Well, I hope it doesn't affect us, but I can see going into Game 1, our timing will be off. Hopefully, you know, we can get some practice in and stay together as a team and keep everybody healthy over these hard practice days. But I see us coming back and trying to get ourselves back on track.
Scottie, one final question. This is the question that always gets asked for the people who get there first. Detroit or Boston, you feel you have a better shot against one team or the other?
Well, I feel like we have a better shot against Boston. Not to be saying that they're a weak team, but they're a veteran team. But I think our guys are a lot younger. Our legs are younger, and we can run them. Detroit is a team that's going to step their game up. I expect them to come back and win the series, though.
Scottie Pippen, offensive star, defensive star on the All-NBA second-team defense again this year. Congratulations to you and the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Championship Series.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations,
Scottie Pippen, who really lit it up in the first half of play. The Bulls advance, and now let's go to Ron Thulin and Jack Gibbons. They're standing by at the Forum in Los Angeles.
Thank you very much, Bob Neal. What an exciting game at Chicago Stadium. We hope that will be the same here at the Great Western Forum, with the Lakers leading the series 3-1. Jack Gibbons, Golden State today at practice. All today, very loosey-goosey about tonight's game.
I think you're right, and I think Don Nelson has made it a point that his team understands that they can come in here and win another game. Yes, he was disappointed that they didn't get a win in their building, but they feel very confident they can come in here and take one from the Lakers in this building.
Well, it remains to be seen whether they can, but it is do or die for Golden State tonight. Stay with us because Bob and Doug will be back in a moment with the Budweiser Player of the Game. Good luck, guys.
It takes you almost an hour to get to work, which leaves you with two choices. You can either own a house closer to work, or you can own the road in between.
In the jungle, business travelers follow the law of natural selection, seeking hotels for comfort, great service, inns when they have an instinct for value, resorts to replenish their spirits, all suites for more territory. Nobody respects this law of natural selection more than ITT Sheraton, the natural choice.
Team. Catch it this season. How do we get the truck back?
Throw it in reverse. Alka-Seltzer's Laws of Indigestion. Law number 13. After a good party, any part of the body that can hurt will. For heartburn with headache, you need Alka-Seltzer because there's no law against fast relief.
1991 NBA playoffs are brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. And by Lexus LS400 and EX250 automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection.
The Sixers battled back from a 13-point deficit to tie this game at 92. With a little over 3 minutes to go, however, Philadelphia could only manage 3 points, a Hawkins three-pointer. The rest of the way, Jordan scored the last 12 Bulls points, and guess who the player of the game is? Scottie Pippen has almost a career half in the first half, but Michael Jordan, 38 points, 19 rebounds, 7 assists. In the second half, when Pippen got in a little foul trouble, Michael went to work.
Well, what it was a sprint. It was Scottie Pippen with the first 2 legs of the relay. He handed the baton to Michael Jordan in the second half, 25 points, 12 rebounds. There's no better closer in basketball than Michael Jordan, and they geared their defense down, got some stops. And it was a good win for them. They did not want this series to go 6 games.
Now, nobody knows the Bulls better than you do in terms of an analyst, because obviously you coach them here and you see them all the time. You're still here in Chicago. How good are they? They've blown through New York. They've blown through Philadelphia. But you and I have been on the West Coast. Compared to those teams in an NBA championship, how good are the Bulls?
Well, the Bulls have every possibility. They have the wherewithal to win the championship. The big concern is they had 2 guys in double figures tonight. 66 points between Pippen and Jordan of the 100 points. I think that they're going to need a little bit more of a balanced attack, but they did what they had to do in this series to get the job done. They've improved their rebounding. The guys are quick to the basket, quick to get the second shot opportunities, but I think it'll be guys like Horace Grant, John Paxson, B.J. Armstrong, and Bill Cartwright that will be the deciding factor on whether or not they win the championship.
All right, it was another beauty, as Doug said in our open tonight. Because we're here, it'll probably be a 3-point game. It was a 5-point game. Philadelphia came back pretty strong. Coming up next, Golden State at the Los Angeles Lakers. Ron Thulin, Jack Givens standing by for that telecast from Chicago Stadium. For Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal. Good night from Chicago.